Howdy, folks. Figure we'll do a nighttime chat. Tonight, I'm smoking Molto Dolce and the second pipe I ever got. I don't know the brand. It's a basket pipe. The drilling's off. The hole doesn't line up dead center, and it's a little bit deeper than it should be. But it smokes amazingly well. So, tonight's topic, I reckon. Well, let me try again. There we got it this time. Anyway, tonight's topic is about being a night owl. Been a night owl my entire life. When I was a kid, I tried to stay up as late as I could. Even though my parents, go to bed, you gotta go to bed. And then when I got to junior high school, I slept more at school than I did at home. And all those days, only 4 times teacher woke me up. But those stories, they're high school angst involved. It's one of those things that teenage stupidity played a lot in it. I did my work. I just didn't stay awake for the classes. I slept pretty much every class that I could, which was half of them. Now, as an adult, most of my jobs since I graduated high school, short of a few, have all been night jobs. I did IT work for a phone company overnight. I did construction work right out of high school, flooring installation in Cincinnati for a summer, which it was a family business. That's what my dad did. So I went to work on his crew through the union. And that following fall, winter, I got the job at the phone company doing IT work and tech support. And then after that, I took some time off because I worked there for a while, a decade. And then I finally got laid off. I took some time off. And I delivered newspapers at night for a while. That was an interesting job. Surprisingly, it pays better than you think. And then I did some daytime stuff. I did property management, insurance adjusting. Insurance adjusting was a really interesting job because it was in disaster areas. It was in New York one of the years when the flooding got real bad. Spent 3-4 months basically living in a ski resort out of season. That was a different job. Let's see. Then I did property management. Property preservation is what they call it now. Took care of foreclosed homes for banks. Did that for a couple of years. That wasn't a bad job. because technically I did all those things before I did the paper route. Because I did the paper route. While I was doing the paper route, I went to dealer school for the local casino. And I got a job there as a blackjack dealer. Then, once I got in as a blackjack dealer, I learned how to do what they call the carnival games. 4-card poker, 3-card poker, pie gal, things like that. And that was a night job. And I did that for 6 years, 5 years. Saved up a great big old pile of cash. Twice. COVID hit. I spent all the money that I had. Paid off my house. And any other outstanding debts that I had. And I went back to work. Worked for another year maybe. Paid off my house and my Harley. Went back to work. And I sold the Harley. Dealt with the stupidity post-COVID at the casino. And I just had enough of the casino stupidity with their rules. And I left there. And I took some more time off. And now I do odd jobs. But the overlying feature of that is, throughout that entire time, even when I was working day jobs, I was still a night owl. Anytime the sun's up, shining bright, I'm always tired. Always tired. I try to go to bed at a semi-reasonable time. It's great. I fall asleep. But the second I wake up and it's dark outside, I'm wide awake. So, the best time for me to fall asleep is just before the sun comes up, or as the sun's coming up. Now, that's a bit of an issue when you need to do daytime things. But you make do. Now, I like being a night owl. Most people like the sunshine and all that. I like the cool temperatures of the nighttime. I like being able to jump on my motorcycle, drive uptown, sit on the square, have a pipe, eat a sandwich, whatever. Not a soul in sight, nobody to bother me. I can go down the creek. If I want to go fishing, I could sit down there all night and never see another soul. Except for maybe a local drunk going home from the bar. And he ain't stopping. But throughout that entire time, I've only met a handful of people who are what you would consider a night owl like I am, where they do better at night. Most of the people I know do better in the daytime. I do better at night in all aspects. You'll notice in all my daytime videos, I'm wearing sunglasses. I wear sunglasses because the sunlight hurts my eyes. When I'm out in sunshine, this is a good one. If I'm out in sunshine and it's bright, not overcast, it's bright. I can be out in sunshine for 20, 30 minutes with no sunglasses on. And I come out of the shade into direct sunlight, I'll start sneezing. Don't know why, but I'll start sneezing. Go back to the shade, or I'll put on sunglasses. No sneezes. They're just weird. Now, the downsides to being a night owl, especially living where I live in the country, you run into a lot of deer at night. And I mentioned in one of the previous videos, I've hit a lot of deer with a lot of things, including a motorcycle. I've totaled, I don't know, somewhere between 1.5 and 2 dozen cars because of deer. A lot of them I repaired and continue to drive, like the truck I have right now. I've hit with it 6 deer, I think. The one that did the most damage was the last set I hit. I hit 2 at once. On my way home from work, and 2 deer come zipping across the road. 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, right at sun up. Foggy as all beat hell. They come zipping out of a field. Right in front of me, I hit both of them at once. Put the radiator into the fan, and I was so mad after that. I was tired. I was ready to go home, and I just drove at the 14-ish miles to my house. It overheated. I thought it was done. Done. I had a Jeep. I figured I'll just drive the Jeep. I parked the truck. I drove the Jeep. I didn't start that S10. I didn't do no work to it. I didn't do nothing. It's set for almost 2 years in my driveway. And then the Jeep, because it's a lifted inline 6 monster of a thing, it started to get what's referred to as the death wobble up front. And I had to get the S10 and put it back on work so I could take the Jeep down to get it fixed. Well, I pulled the hood up. I took the radiator, the air conditioning core out. I pulled the cross member as straight as I could get it. I dropped a fresh battery in it. No coolant, no radiator, no belt, no air conditioning core. All of it's been removed. The belt got shredded. Started it up. And I put the key in it. I turned it to the setting on the key switch where the fuel pump and everything comes on. I let it sit there for a few seconds. I didn't add any fresh fuel or anything. And I rolled that key over. And when I did, it fired up. It rolled over, just whop, blop, and it ran. I let it sit there and idle for 20-30 seconds. I shut it down. I cobbled in a junk radiator I had so I could get to the mechanic. Zip tied the radiator in place so it wouldn't touch his hand. I threw another belt on it. Started up, drove to the mechanic. He did the magic to it. Had to put a new tensioner pulley on it. He had to put a new fan on it, replace the radiator. I didn't put the air conditioning core back in. Straighten the cross member or the core support. I still drive to this day. Well, that was 6 years ago. Rise the truck's still together, really. But the most deer that I ever hit at one time, because of being out at night, I come up over a blind corner. It's a rise. So you come over a hump and it turns at the same time. I'm running down that road. I run down that road 1,000 times. And I'd never seen deer hunt till this night. I come up over that rise running 40, 45 mile an hour. And smack dab in the middle of the road was a herd of deer. I don't know how many in total there were, but I hit 4 of them at the same time. It was like a bowling ball hitting pins. Just, and I was in a Chevy Silverado. And the only thing it did was it broke a chunk out of the grill. Didn't bend any metal, luckily. I stopped, and all but one of the deer had got up and run off. I had to take care of that last deer. I had to get it out of the road. It didn't make it. But the other 3 deer ran off. Got sidetracked. Got off on a wild tangent there. Went from being about a night owl to deers. I know this video has been a bit of a ramble, but I figured I'd better do something while I was out, not doing much anything else. Just relaxing tonight. So, halfway down in this little bowl on the Molto Dolce that I got from Jesse. It reminds me a lot of Boswell's Christmas cookie. It's not quite the same, but it's very close. Tastes really good. That being said, Boswell's Christmas cookie, for whatever reason, is one of my favorite aromatics. I don't care for very many straight aromatics. But that one's good. This one's good. It has that vanilla cookie-ish flavor to it, at least on my palate. Smells a lot like it too. Well, folks, you have a good night. I'm going to let you go. I rambled on too long. Later.